15:30. $15.40. Game, Kochis Ortiz. They win 6 games to 1. Don't worry about me. Thank you. Nah, just tell Benbrook. I don't want that. I don't want that to happen either. That was a dry run. Do I have a break? I know it's not long. I don't have any. I don't have the. Is Kochis and Ortiz playing this? Okay. What are you giving them? 15 minutes or what? Oh, okay. Okay. Make sure I don't get caught on anything. Oh, that was a full set. 25 bucks. Okay.
Welcome to the APTA Grand Prix Tour presented by our national sponsors Viking and Uline. We are live at the Philadelphia Cricket Club on the APTA network presented by eNet Live. I'm Lauren Mandel, along with Mark Fischel, bringing you a round of 16 match between the number 4 seeds Jessica Guyaux and Mirta Molenveld and Karen Kochis and Erin Ortiz. And now we're going to look at the player bios. Karen Kochis is a local. She's a rackets professional at the Whitford Country Club in Philly, and her partner is Erin Ortiz from DC. And they're playing.
Mirta Molenveld. Mirta's living in Stamford these days, and she's the director of platform tennis at the Field Club of Greenwich, and she's playing with Jessica Guyaux. Jessica's out of Pittsburgh, and I think Jessica's at the Field Club of Pittsburgh. So
Mark?
taking a look at the players, Lauren, directly in front of us we have Karen Kochis. Karen's been on the tour a number of years. She's played with Jacqueline Williamson. I think they've been top 10, 12 in the country. Good, strong player, good forehand, and she's playing with a new partner
Guys have 5
this
minutes.
year. And Erin Ortiz. Erin's got a strong two-handed backhand. On the far side of the net is Mirta Molenveld in the explosive pants. And that fits her game.
Fits her game.
Hits the ball big off of both sides, backhand, forehand. As you and I talked about before, really starting to get comfortable on the court, and is one of the best young players, maybe just one of the best players in the game. And she and her partner Jessica Guyaux. Jessica is a tremendous athlete, and it's really something just kind of clicked in Jessica's game a couple years ago. Last year she came 1 point away from making the finals of nationals, and they're coming off a win in the first tournament of the year at the Patterson Club.
Yeah, and this is a really interesting team to watch, Guyaux and Molenveld. If I had a most improved award to give somebody, I would give it to Jessica Guyaux. She just made huge strides in her game last year. And
five most improved awards to give. I think I'd give them all to Jessica Guyaux.
Yes, and Molenveld is, like you said, really coming into her own as a player. She's improved all areas of her game, and that's why they are really one of the teams that could really do well this year.
Yeah, Myrta worked for Martin Bostrom for a couple of years, and that's kind of the analogy I would make in terms of whose game she plays like. She's got a big two-handed backhand that's very hard to read, big forehand. She's had some problems at the net in terms of her size and her arms. She was playing, I think originally she played too close to the net. She kind of backed off the net a little bit to give her some additional time. And it's really showed in her results. Yeah,
and she's worked on her overhead. She's getting more spin on it. All areas of her game. The one part of her game I wouldn't compare to Martin Bostrom is the serve. She's still trying to figure out how she wants to serve, and it's probably the part of the game that she's the least comfortable with, but like everything else, it's improved.
Fran Rodano, APTA umpire in the chair today on this gorgeous fall afternoon. Boy, Lauren, it's like the clock ticked midnight last night and we went from summer to fall.
Boom, paddle season.
Here at the Philly Cricket Club, which is just a beautiful setup. Scott Falatek, director of platform tennis, has done a tremendous job running 2 Grand Prix in a row. We're in the last Grand Prix of 2018 and the first Grand Prix of the 18-19 season.
It's like the year the Australian Open switched over from December to January.
Exactly. So what do you see out here, Lauren? What do Kochis and Ortiz have
3
to
minutes.
do to compete?
We're supposed to do the spin
I actually think this could be an interesting match.
So if you guys can do that
Kochis is a very smooth player.
So I can introduce you guys in a minute or two.
Ortiz is solid all over. So Molenveld and Guyaux, Kochis and Ortiz just played a match, and Molenveld and Ortiz are going to have to warm up quickly.
Well, given that Jessica Guyaux probably ran 6 miles before the match, as she's prone to do, Jessica's just a remarkable athlete, isn't she?
She is. She is, and she's fun to watch.
Okay, you'll receive it. Who's going to serve, Karen? Is it?
Okay, so I think Guyaux and Molenveld won the toss and have elected to receive.
Ortiz to serve.
Let our chair umpires introduce the player momentarily. We'll be bringing you some scores from the next court, where our number 2 seeds, Hannah Sven Starnberg.
Ladies and gentlemen, this match is a best of 3 sets with tie breaks. To my right, in the deuce court, from Exton, PA, Karen Kochis. Her partner in the ad court from Potomac, Maryland, Erin Ortiz. To my left, in the deuce court from Stamford, Connecticut, Myrta Molenveld. Her partner in the ad court from Sewickley, PA, Jessica Guyaux. Molenveld and Guyaux won the toss and have elected to receive.
A fast start is imperative for Kochis and Ortiz. Molenveld, Guyaux really brimming with confidence after their performance last week, and I expect similar things from them this week.
I think they didn't really know what to expect playing with each other, and what a great start to win the tournament.
What do you think we'll see from Kochis and Ortiz? Are they going to try and play Molenveld? Are they going to try and play Guyaux?
I don't know. I don't know that they. Well, I don't know that they're going to set out with a particular person to play.
Molenveld told me at Patterson, everybody was playing lots of balls into Guyaux, and she thought that was to their advantage.
Players ready?
Right. Told me the same thing.
Okay, Aaron Ortiz to serve.
Aaron Ortiz to serve.
Let's get the season started, Lauren.
Yeah. Whoops.
Like
Love 15.
Over on the side wire for Molenveld.
And maybe for Kochis too, which is why she shanked that one.
Love 30.
That's what we'll see a lot from Guyaux. She tends to punch the ball, not a full swing, and she loves to use her athleticism to blitz.
$15.30.
Florentina Hanisch and Annika van Starenburg are up 5-2. The number 2 seeds.
$15.40.
Molenveld missed that
30,
one. Let me
40.
tell you something. She's got some long arms, and when she's blitzing and coming in behind the ball, it's intimidating.
Is the height an advantage or a disadvantage, Lauren?
I think when she's coming in behind the ball, it's an advantage. Van Starenburg and Hanisch won the first set.
A great move from Guyaux. She slides
Game.
to her left. And
Molenveld,
forehand
Guyaux.
spike.
They lead 1 game to love.
They have a lot of offense, this Molenveld Guyaux team.
It's a tight-looking first game from Coach Ortiz, wasn't it? They don't look very comfortable out there.
Well, it's hard to get comfortable when you know you're going
Guyaux
to be
to serve.
attacked. And Guyaux and Molenveld are also very quick, so they can play a lot of good defense too.
$15 love.
Guyaux the best athlete on the women's tour besides Gabby Nicolescu?
I don't know. You think so?
She moves so well.
30 love.
It's a good question.
If any of our viewers are watching, love to hear your input on that.
30-15. $40-15. $40-30.
Big hello to Deb Jelson, who's watching.
Deuce.
Little faults from Guyaux. Takes us to deuce.
Add in.
Better point. Kochis and Ortiz settling in a little bit.
Deuce.
Forehand from Ortiz, followed by the blitz from Kochis.
Add in.
And as we will be doing in all Grand Prix tours, Lauren, we're using the Viking ball.
Deuce.
That was not one of Molenveld's better points. Partner almost bailed her out there, but not quite.
Jessica did make a great reaching volley, but not enough.
Add out.
That's a big game for Kochis.
Game,
Ortiz.
Kochis, Ortiz.
You could see them relax during that
One
game.
game to one, Kochis to serve.
And they got into a few points and they settled in, and Molenveld and Guyaux made a few mistakes.
I think that's really important when you're playing against the top teams early in the match. No need to try and hit big shots. Just get yourself comfortable, get into some points. Okay, Karen Kochis to serve. 1-all, first set. And that is
15 love.
Definitely not Molenveld's game.
Take that forehand and whack it.
15 all.
Volley from Ortiz.
30-15.
Yeah, Molenveld's really not swinging very freely right now.
Not yet.
$30 all.
Great spot from Guyaux.
Great move.
40-30.
That forehand on the right hip. Guyaux does have a lot of offense, doesn't she?
40-30.
2 love for Hannah Van Starnberg after winning the first set.
Really good volley from Kochis.
Yeah, that return was really dipping quickly.
Game, Kochis, Ortiz. They lead 2 games to 1.
Took so much off it, didn't clear the
Too
net.
careful. Looks like she's playing a little too carefully right now.
Molenveld to serve.
Okay, Myrta Molenveld to serve. Lot of missed
15
lobs
love.
early.
Really feeling each other out. Everybody looks like they're being very careful.
$15 all.
Molenveld just is not comfortable on that ad side, isn't she?
But she's so quick. I'm surprised she didn't get that ball.
15-30.
swing overhead from Molenveld that she likes so much.
15-40.
Really sloppy game so far. Great rip from Kochis, 3-1, first
Game,
set.
Kochis Ortiz, they lead 3 games to 1.
Funny, right? The first game and the first half of the second game,
Ortiz to serve.
Didn't look good for Kochis Ortiz. And they've completely turned it around, and now they're making Guyaux and Molenveld doubt themselves a little bit.
I'm really surprised we've seen such a slow start from Guyaux and Molenveld. I don't think they'd be brimming with confidence coming off of their win.
There's a forehand.
The first ball
Love
she
15.
really cracked
There's the Molenveld forehand that we know.
and set up by a great lob from Guyaux. She had a couple of really good lobs there, created some movement at the net. Jerry Viant would be proud.
Love 30.
Fun watching Guyaux play, isn't it?
It
Plays
is.
the
She has
game
a
a
lot
little
of shots.
differently.
A lot of shots.
Love 40.
And I think the reason she's improved so much is that because she stopped trying to just, I mean, she has a great forehand that she can hit, but she stopped trying to just hit her forehand hard and started using her athleticism and coming in behind different balls. She can really do a lot of things at the net.
$15.40.
Big game for Guyaux Molenveld to close out.
It's good. It was in.
Molenveld with the swinging topspin back.
Game Molenveld Guyaux.
Yep.
Kochis Ortiz lead 3 games to 2.
Catches the outside of the line, and that was a much more comfortable looking game from Guyaux and Molenveld.
Yeah, and Hannah Spence,
Jessica Guyaux to serve.
cruising along up 4-love after winning the first set.
$15 love.
Ortiz and Kochis have played pretty well with the exception of all the missed lobs. Like the 4th or 5th one.
$30 love.
Tough
15.
That's an easy volley to hit wide. Probably not the most percentage shot.
And no reason to hit it over there.
Nope.
$30 all.
Big game right here, Lauren.
$30-40.
That was interesting, right? Kochis took all the pace off the return, and Guyaux took a big swing and missed it.
3 straight missed volleys from Guyaux. And then takes a great one. one.
Deuce.
Behind Kochis.
That is the greatest feeling when you make that volley. When someone's coming in behind the return and you can volley it behind them. It feels so good.
Deuce. Add out.
He was playing very fast. It's a ball you wouldn't expect
Deuce.
to beat Kochis.
She totally got fooled by it. It was so easy for us to see, but she didn't see it at all.
Add in.
Guyaux was serving before. Thought before Nicholson was ready, but she hit a good return. Ortiz.
Good whip from Guyaux.
Game, Guyaux, Molenveld.
Early.
Games are tied, 3 games
Guyaux.
apiece.
That's a big hold right there.
Kochis to serve.
Pressure Guyaux's putting on him with her court positioning, catching the ball early, a lot of block lobs, attacking. This is that forehand.
15 love.
Good spot though.
But that's what she's got to do. That's what's made herself. That's how she's made herself a much more effective player, by moving and moving in and catching people out of position and off guard.
$15 all. $15.30.
I was a little overexcited by Ortiz.
$15.40.
It alternates between good play and really sloppy play.
Just some sloppy mistakes, but
That's a great lob from Guyaux. Not letting the ball get to the wires for the most part. That's a great volley.
30-40.
that was sort of a neither here nor there shot. She was too far in to really drive it the way she wanted. Molenveld's getting her lobs higher.
line across the middle.
Game Molenveld Guyaux.
Missed that game.
They lead 4-3. Molenveld to serve.
This is a nice match, but it looks to me like Guyaux and Molenveld just do everything a little better.
Yeah, I agree.
And as long as they can keep it together, but Kochis and Ortiz are going to make them win it.
Molenveld serving 4-3. Love 15.
Oh, great volley, Guyaux.
15 all.
Big Ortiz forehand. Smart lob, Kochis. Short ball, feels like ball you should drive, but just too low.
Tricky.
Great movement.
30-15.
Not exactly sure how Molenveld's ball made it over the net.
Me too.
Stuck her paddle into the side wire. It was one of those shots that was so bad it was good.
You know, that happens a lot in paddle.
Volley, Molenveld.
30 all.
Second seeds are through their match. Van Starenburg and Hanisch will await the winner
Great volley.
of Lyon in Sakura and Atkinson and Campanari for the next round.
One of the local best teams, Lyon and Sakura. That's a good decision by Molenveld to stay out of the way there. Another missed lob.
40-30.
That's really been the difference in the match, Lauren, hasn't it?
It has.
Deuce.
There's that indecision you talked about in her serve. Just no real confidence on it.
Add out.
Point for 4-all.
That's a good forehand from
Game,
Ortiz.
Ortiz, Kochis.
Made no mistake about that one.
Games are 4 apiece.
Yeah, that a point for 5-3.
Ortiz to serve.
Molenveld faulted and then missed a volley she probably feels she should have made. And now it's 4-all. Yeah, Molenveld was thinking of spike in that one.
She thought long and hard about it. She had about 2 seconds of her racket being up there. Bad luck.
Love 15.
Yeah. Guyaux tries to take that one off the
15
deck
all.
and pays for it.
$15.30.
Just misses the serve wide. These points are so critical now, Lauren. These are the moments in the match where you've got to hit the shots you're most comfortable with and not give anything away.
15.40.
Great bullet from Guyaux. The harder Ortiz hits her serve, the harder the returns are going to come back.
Molenveld, Guyaux, they lead 5-4.
Yeah, that last ball's the ball
Jessica
she just
Guyaux to
gotta
serve.
put in play. Definitely been a seesaw first set. You take it. No, you take it. No, you take it. I insist. See if Guyaux can serve a good, solid game. You really feel like if once they get their teeth into the match, they're going to be too good. But like the last game, Molenveld just kind of donated it, and Guyaux starts
Love
off
15.
this one with a bad fault. Oh, that's great volley.
Great volley off a terrific return.
$15 all.
Another missed lob.
Definitely the theme of the set.
And they've really been the better team, with the exception of the missed lobs. Of course, that would have been like saying the Giants were the better team last night, with the exception of the
30-15.
Eagles' offense and defense. 2 points from the set. She's got some nice variety on that forehand.
Oh, Kochis.
Good ball. Molenveld hit
30
a
all.
huge many overheads there that weren't hers. Kind of unbalanced the court.
Kochis really waits to find a ball she likes to drive. She's happy to hit a lot of off-speed balls and try to work the point with her placement. That one she took a good rip at.
Hmm. 30-40.
Again, though, that's not her game.
Hitting the angle and coming in behind. I mean,
Yeah,
she did a
the
good
touch.
job, right? She got
Yeah.
the volley to come up to her, the ball to come up. She just missed it.
Deuce.
Coach just wants that one back. Molenveld hit that down-up overhead. That was a ball she could have spiked. But Kochis has got a big forehand, but
Head
so
out.
many of the balls she chips back.
That's what I was saying. She really picks her spots.
Another point for 5 all. Great volley from Molenveld.
There's the roller. Ortiz got away with that there.
Solid
I don't
in.
know.
Okay, so that ball
Oh,
was called
it's
in
called
by
in.
chair umpire Rodano, and it's back to deuce. Big overrule.
She didn't get away with it. I thought she should have hit a different shot instead of that dink.
So that's what's surprising to me is
Head out.
Kochis follows up the big forehand. That was a weak serve, and it's just a chip return. Wins the point, though.
She's chipping most of the returns. She's only hitting the drives during the point. Ortiz, on the other hand, is going to whack this.
Back to 5 all.
Game Ortiz coaches. 5 games apiece. Coaches to serve.
Is that hurdle you have to get over in a match? It's so critical.
It happened to Ortiz and Kochis in their first match. They had a very close first set, and then they steamrolled through the second. Sometimes you just need to get that first set or a couple of good games under your belt. And Kochis and Ortiz are making them win points. I mean, they're not giving it to them. They're a good team. And they've started driving well.
Great pickup from Ortiz. Kochis gets caught in the middle. Good quality point.
That was the best
15.
point of the match by a factor of 10, I think. Yeah, when you come all the way across like
15,
that to take
point.
a ball on your partner's side, you better hit a really good shot. And she drove it well, but Guyaux was there, put the volley in the open court.
Miscommunication up there. That was clearly Ortiz's ball. Those
Love
unforced
30.
errors. Those are the ones you just can't afford to make.
Love 40.
Oh, big backhand from Guyaux takes them to 6-5. Uline is the
Game,
leading
Molenveld,
distributor
Guyaux.
of
They
shipping,
lead 6
industrial, and
games to
packaging
5.
materials to businesses throughout North America.
Molenveld to serve.
They ship over 2.5 million boxes every day, but they are so much more than a box company. More than 32,000 quality products are always in stock and ready to ship. Outstanding customer service means they're here when you need them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Uline, the best selection, products, and people for an unforgettable customer experience. Okay, Lauren, hold or break?
Hold.
Yeah, I think so too. See if Molenveld can get a few serves in the box. She was good
15
position
love.
for that lob. She played that ball well, and then she just missed it. Surprising. Guyaux played that ball like it was out by 10 feet.
Very casual. She had me convinced it was going out too, and I didn't think it looked like it was going out.
I believed her.
$15 all.
Guyaux's turn to miss a lob low.
$30-15.
Must be very windy out there, Lauren.
$30-30.
Are you surprised that Guyaux and Molenveld haven't played some Australian, moved the formations around? Because so many of the points they're losing are in return to serve.
But only in the last couple games have both Kochis and Ortiz been successful driving their return to
40-30.
serve.
Haven't been a lot of hold to serves, though.
No, but I think they feel like Guyaux and Molenveld feel like it's more their own.
Looks like they're going to I formation here on set point. Because the Ortiz forehand has definitely hurt them.
Yeah, in the last couple games, she's won many points with her forehand. Let's see what she does.
Great play from Molenveld. Oh, how sweet was that in the transition game, Lauren?
That's a nice way to win the set,
Guyaux,
huh?
they win 7-5. First set is
Really
now
is such a
complete.
beautiful game.
All right, let's see if Ortiz and Kochis, who gave Guyaux and Molenveld a run for their money in the first set, if they can regroup here.
Okay, we'll be back in a moment after these messages right here in the APTA Network, presented by eNet Live.
Elizabeth,
Stephen,
I can't believe I caught you.
you came back. I knew you'd come back.
I have to ask you something.
Anything.
What is the Netflix password?
I love Stephen.
I love Steven. It's all lowercase, one word?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
You gotta get it to get it.
See ya.
Watch movies, TV shows, and exclusive series instantly.
When it's your job to protect the world's greatest nation, it's your responsibility to solve the world's greatest challenges. This is why we search for the best and brightest, why we train for every eventuality, on land and water, in the air, space, and even cyberspace. We operate in a complex world with one simple mission: win.
Okay, welcome back to the APTA Grand Prix Series Tour. We just finished the first set of this round of 16 match between Guyaux and Molenveld and Kochis and Ortiz. Lauren, what do you think that Kochis and Ortiz have to do to change things up here?
I think they have to keep hitting those returns. I think that's where they had their most success, and see if Guyaux and Molenveld continue to change their formation on the serve like they did on that last point there. And I think, like you've said over and over, if they can just keep a few more lobs in, then there's really nothing separating these two teams in this match.
Aaron Ortiz to serve, first game, second set.
Love 15. Love 30.
Well, you just hate to start a set like that, especially after you've lost the prior one. Kind of feel like Guyaux and Molenveld are getting comfortable. Just don't want to give them anything. Good serve
15-30.
there.
All.
Everybody's very generous today, Lauren. A little donation here, a little donation there.
Kochis isn't shifting over when Guyaux gets the ball. She's leaving that big hole down the middle, which is how they lost the set point.
And there, as a result of it, you see Ortiz kind of stepping in, feeling that empty space. Hits the ball isn't hers.
It's a big space.
40,
the point
30.
anyway. This would be a big hold for them.
Yeah, Ortiz does a good job of closing off the middle. That's one she'd like back. That's a frustrating shot to miss.
She's played really well, with the exception of some inexplicable mistakes. And if she could get those out of her game, she's going to really have a lot of success.
She's really had much less experience playing against top players than these other 3 players on the court. And it's a different game against the top players. You can get away with a lot more against players of just a slightly lower level. So this is a good experience for her. She's holding her own nicely.
Molenveld didn't trust her partner there. Great volley from Ortiz. Got a lot of physical skills.
As Jerry Viant pointed out, Ortiz has a very nice low point of contact on her overhead.
And there we saw Kochis not sliding to her right, opening up that forehand volley. And Guyaux did a great job of spotting it and hitting the forehand there.
It really plays into Guyaux's hands.
Head out.
Great play. Guyaux sets up the big Molenveld forehand.
They lead 1 game to love.
That was a good game by both teams. You know, after missing her first 2 serves, Ortiz really came back and played a good game.
But put herself in an unnecessary hole.
Jessica Guyaux to serve.
Great gets from Ortiz.
So, Lauren, can you explain to me why with both of her opponents in the backhand corner, Molenveld chose to hit the ball to the backhand corner? Maybe she was looking for them to have a collision. Good point.
15 love.
But it also goes to show you how many good decisions you have to make to win a paddle point sometimes. 20, 30, 40. Played a great point, everything right, and then drove a ball from a little bit too deep in the court.
Guyaux staying back.
Yeah, a lot of respect for that Ortiz forehand. And Molenveld got away from that with that, but boy, that is not
30
her
love.
game.
Definitely looks more subdued.
What a great backhand from Guyaux. Molenveld's overhead still looks a little bit unwieldy, doesn't it? Kind of
40
arms
love.
everywhere.
I think it's because she sometimes just can't decide what she wants to do with it. She hits all of her overheads well, and she has different ones, but I think it's indecision.
40-15. $40-30.
I think Guyaux didn't run far enough this morning. She serve him better. Maybe as punishment she'll do like 10 miles between the 16s and the quarters.
Deuce.
That's just a bad feeling.
Yeah, when it gets in your head and
Yeah.
that voice is talking to you, you just got to ignore it. Throw the ball up and hit it. 3 consecutive faults. Back to deuce.
Well played by
out.
Kochis.
Really well played. But again, that's a ball you would expect Guyaux to put back in play.
Well, now she's thinking about her serve.
Game Kochis Ortiz. Games are tied at 1 apiece.
They seem determined to make this a match. That was the game
Kochis
to get him
to
over
serve.
the hurdle. 4 games in a row. Things are rolling. Boom. 4 faults and a missed wire.
After being up 40 love, right?
Yep. Okay. Good move by Myrtha Molenveld going over there talking to her partner after that game. Great volley.
15 love.
Right the ball.
30 love.
Just misses it.
There's where an up down overhead will really make you think twice about doing that again.
And Molenveld didn't even really hit that one. She kind of guided it.
She didn't even have to move.
$40-15.
You just got gushing over Guyaux because she has completely fallen apart in the last 10 minutes.
$40-30.
It's just one of those matches that's a slog, right? That you just got to make your way through. There's nothing pretty about it. Just got to find a way to win enough points.
Deuce.
And there's some of the inexperience coming from Ortiz. I mean, Guyaux's hit that forehand a bunch of times. You just got to take a step over and present her backhand volley. That can't be a winner.
Maybe she thought that was going out.
Add in.
Let's see if she does it again. Guyaux goes right at Ortiz.
Game Kochis Ortiz. They leave 2 games to 1.
Well,
Molenveld to serve.
this is what makes good paddle teams. When you're not playing well, and you find a way.
Yep, it's the essence of the game. Viking Athletics is the premier brand and undisputed leader in platform tennis. Viking is platform tennis. The Viking Extra Duty platform ball has been the #1 selling ball in the industry for the last 20 years. It's the official ball of the APTA, the APTA Nationals and President's Cup, and of course of the Grand Prix Tour. dig from Kochis there.
I don't like that overhead Molenveld just hit. Kochis should have whacked it.
She's hit several of them that Kochis has chosen to lob. Like that. Guyaux's overhead is just solid, isn't it? Keeps the ball low. It's very few down-up overheads.
Yeah, it's compact.
The difference between her and Molenveld is stark. Good solid point.
Do I dare say better lobbing by Ortiz at this point?
No, don't say it, Lauren.
And you see that Ortiz did just that thing. She hit that
15
down-up
love.
overhead, and Guyaux pounced on it.
Well, she suckered her into it,
Yep.
didn't she?
Yep.
First point of the game.
First point.
And now they're I formation against Ortiz, which I think is really smart.
Yeah, you can only get burned so many times before you got to switch it up.
Good discipline by Kochis to let that ball through. One of the things I see from Ortiz in terms of a little inexperience is she's not spotting her forehand in the right places. Not enough
30
balls
love.
at the right hip. Good overhead from Molenveld there, catches the seam. That's good stuff. Like how Guyaux stepped in and put that
40
ball
love.
behind her.
She hits that forehand volley behind the forehand player very, very well. Keeps it nice and low into the screen. Oops.
That's the essence of playing the I formation. Make your opponent do
Molenveld,
something
Guyaux.
different.
Games
Make
are
them a little
tied 2-2.
uncomfortable.
Yeah, they really took Ortiz's
Ortiz to
return away
serve.
completely that game.
Good
And were
solid-
rewarded for it.
Good solid service game from Molenveld. Got just a beautiful setting, isn't it, Lauren?
Beautiful.
Blue sky.
$15 love.
I think Guyaux did a really good job of kind of steadying herself after that brutal game she played on serve from 40 love.
You got to have a short memory in
15
paddle.
all.
Isn't that the essence of the great players in all sports?
Yep.
Make a mistake, it's gone. Can't change it. Why dwell on it?
It's so easy to say and it makes so much sense, but it's hard to do.
30-15.
Their coach just does a good job of sliding over.
40-15.
Didn't play that one quite as well as she could have. That was a ball for her to whack, and she kind of got caught in between.
Game, Ortiz, Kochis. They lead 3-2.
That was a quick game, Mark.
Quick would be one word to describe it, Lauren.
Guyaux to serve.
Okay, let's see how much Guyaux's start thinking about that last service game now.
Yeah, I'm sure she would have preferred to have a 4-1 lead here when she had to serve again. I'm sure. It's a little too close for comfort.
Love.
And that'll make her a little more comfortable.
All.
She's just speeding up.
Forehand there. That's the shot. Even if she makes it,
right,
Guyaux's going to dig it out. Just can't afford to take risks like that. Okay, let's see if she can get this serve in the box. Smart.
It's a hard ball to take off the deck, Mark.
Yeah. She had a good lob and pushed her deep. Got a little aggressive with the last one.
All.
30 all. Big point in the match again for Guyaux.
Looks so simple. That's her, right? Just,
yeah.
But
why is Coach just not hitting that ball?
I don't know. She hits like 1 out of every 6 on the return.
Because that serve was soft and high and had a big sign on it that said, "Hit me." They make a great get off the nick, and then they miss a relatively routine ball. I mean, I love that Ortiz is hitting that forehand. She's looking for it, she's hitting it. That's her shot.
Guyaux's been really solid as a rock on that first volley.
Yeah, just a strange spot for Molenveld to hit the overhead.
Can't hit that overhead there. She's pulling herself over. Ortiz has that whole cross-court forehand to hit. Not the right spot.
Waterfall overhead works there. Point for 3 all.
Deuce.
Good ball from Kochis. I love that overhead from Molenveld. We haven't seen nearly enough of that.
No, only she's hit about 3 of them, and she hits it great, and the ball jumps when it hits the court, and it's super hard to control off the deck like Ortiz just tried to do.
And you really have to be quick if you're going to let it go to the wires and get out of the way of it when it's right at your body.
Deuce.
Right after I said she's been solid as a rock on the first volley.
I'm surprised they went away from the I formation that had been so successful for them. They let Ortiz wind up and rip a forehand. I'm not going to ask you, Lauren.
I don't understand it, why she wouldn't hit that return of serve.
She's got a really good forehand.
That in.
And she's not trying to do anything with the chip, like put it low or anything. She's just literally putting the ball back in play.
Guyaux again using her court positioning.
Deuce.
Good swing, just misses the forehand. Right ball.
That out. Game, Kochis, Ortiz, they lead 4-2.
Why did Molenveld let that one go?
Kochis
She
to
thought
serve.
Guyaux had a better play on it.
That Ortiz forehand is really having an impact on the match.
Quick hands.
There's a good spot from Molenveld.
Love 15.
First time we saw Guyaux really blitzing, committed to it. It's one of her signature plays. Ortiz plays a lot of the hard overheads off the deck. A little bit dangerous.
I think she's least comfortable with the balls and the screen, so I think that it's the lesser of two evils
Love
for
30.
her.
Managed to get those in play, and then her partner missed the lob.
Yeah, she handled those hard rollers well.
Love 40. Game, Molenveld, Guyaux. Kochis, Ortiz lead 4-3.
A match like this is really going to help a player like Erin Ortiz. You can see that she hasn't played a lot of high-level paddle.
Molenveld to serve.
Making a couple of basic mistakes, her court positioning. She's got a lot of physical talent. Just needs to be exposed to it. It's one of the great things about playing against the top teams. They teach you what you need to do better.
And she plays at the club where Guyaux is a pro. And I know he likes to work with her. He thinks she's got a lot of ability. And he will certainly be able to help her move along.
Ortiz has played the wires really well.
It's the ones
Love
that are
15.
soft into the corner that she has trouble with. But otherwise, yeah, she's been very solid in the wires. Tricky. think that ball
Love
would have
30.
gone back over on Molenveld's side.
Yep, great play by Ortiz. So let me ask you a question, Lauren. This is complicated.
15-30.
Would you prefer to lob a ball wide or miss a hard forehand and deep?
I don't think she's worried about missing those forehand returns. I don't know why.
I mean, she obviously has a good forehand. That's the
15-40.
thing that's surprising to me.
She drives well off both sides, coaches. They both do. All of these players do. All four of them, they can drive well off both sides.
Big point right here, Lauren.
30-40.
The thing, too, is when your opponent is driving your serve on a regular basis, it puts more pressure than ever on the serve. Molenveld catches the top of the tape.
Kochis Ortiz.
Boy,
They lead
Kochis
5
Ortiz
games
were in
to
trouble
3.
on that swing.
Ortiz
That ball
to
goes
serve.
over the net. They're dead. Chance to serve for the second set. I haven't had a hold of serve in a while. There's that hole you talked about earlier, Lauren. Great play from Ortiz.
She really waited for that ball to come down.
Molenveld all over the
Love
court
15.
with that foot speed.
And that reach.
Well, she had one great dig in the backcourt.
Love 15.
Love 15. Players confused about the score. Good spot from Molenveld. Well, that one
Love
Guyaux
30.
didn't spot well, but wins the point anyway. Well, that was a confident forehand.
Love 40.
She gets really good pop on that shot when she lines up and hits it.
I think the last hole to serve was when Kochis
Game,
served
Molenveld, Guyaux.
and 1-all.
Coaches
In the
Ortiz
set, I
lead
think it's
5
been
games
break,
to 4.
break.
Guyaux to serve.
And that might have been the only hold of the whole set.
Well,
Because they started off breaking Kochis and Williamson, and then Guyaux served that really poor game from 40 love. And then it's been, then Kochis held, and then it's been break.
and now seems fitting for the set that Guyaux has to hold to stay in it.
$15 love.
missed that volley too many
30
times.
love.
And there's the forehand.
Maybe if we keep saying it until we're blue in the face.
Maybe Jerry Vian can explain that to us later, Lauren.
I bet Karen Kochis can explain it to us later. This is a huge point, Mark. Oh.
40-15.
Game point to be back even in this seesaw set.
Oh, big forehand there.
Game, Guyaux, Molenveld.
Martin
We're tied
Bostrom
in the
is
second set at
fun
5-5.
watching this riveting match.
Kochis to serve.
So it's our second hold of the match. A great backhand from Molenveld. Oh, almost a great
Wow.
dig.
That would have been fun.
Love 15.
Blitz
15
from
all.
Guyaux just misses it. Great first volley there from Kochis. Kochis got good hands.
All these players do.
$30-15.
That's a really good blitz by Guyaux, but she hit Ortiz's paddle. Right in that left hip with the paddle set up. How many
times?
Yeah, that's like the fourth time
Yep.
we played the same point.
I was going to say the fourth time. Yep. She just looks surprised.
Well, she's going to learn a lot watching this match.
Landed in.
Good. Nope, she misses it off the neck. Oh, it's good. That's the fourth lob that's dropped at this point. Oh.
40-30.
At least it wasn't a big point.
Probably felt good.
Point for 6-5 in our third hold of the set. And serve, for the most part, tends to be far less valuable in the warm weather. There's a good volley. I thought Kochis made a really good decision letting that ball through, but unable to track it down.
It's really a disadvantage in the warm weather. The returners have so much time. It sits there and can really pick their spots.
And Kochis and Ortiz have played virtually
Net
no
out.
I formation or Australian.
None.
Point for 6-5. Chance to serve for the match.
Deuce.
Guyaux just looks a little out of sorts today. We spotted it early. And it's interesting because what's haunted her throughout her career has been her shot selection, but I think her shot selection today has been excellent. Just failed to execute.
Head out.
Oh, that hurts. Molenveld's really been hurting him with the return. Kochis hits a good serve. You get a lob out of her. Missed overhead.
Hold.
You're 1 for 1 in the season.
I really think that in both sets it's been so close, and the slightly better, more experienced team has been able to come through. We'll see if that's true.
15
wild
love.
forehand we saw from Kochis. That's really smart play from Molenveld Guyaux there. Staying back, waiting for the right ball to take over the net. And that's a function of playing. They both played a lot of big matches. Great ball from Ortiz there.
15 all.
Guyaux tends to change sides with her overheads a little bit too much.
She goes back and forth. Yep.
15-30.
High formation against Ortiz here. Boy, that's a surprising miss from Guyaux. She volleys so well normally.
She got very handsy on that volley, where usually she's nice and still.
Yeah, quiet. She's usually so quiet with her hands. Great forehand from Kochis there, and we're going to play a tiebreak.
We'll go to a tiebreak.
Okay, so you're 1 for 2 this year, Laura. It still beats my batting average.
It's a long way to go, Mark.
A couple of ultra marathons. But he couldn't play the point any better than she did.
Ortiz
just
Kochis,
catches the tape.
1.
Well, that volley is so
Guyaux,
much
0.
harder than it looks. You're moving forward at great speed. Your body's kind of tense, and you need to really soften your hands up.
One.
These are some weird points. Inexplicable.
Kochis serving. 1-2.
Great rip from Molenveld, but they just haven't adjusted at all.
One
to her
serving
forehand.
3.
No, she's been hitting her forehand better and better as the match goes on.
And in a match that's going to be separated by a couple of points, that could be the difference.
Molenveld Guyaux to serve. They lead 4-1.
Okay, so I think if Molenveld can get a couple of serves in the box here, they're going to come out on top. What's she going to do here, lob or drive the return?
No, she's going to chip it.
Good call. Just the wrong ball to try and hit that
Four
rolling
serving
overhead
two.
off. Too deep in the court.
Too
And
deep in the court.
no
Absolutely.
need to do that. All she had to do is chip that ball soft and deep. That's a ball Molenveld shouldn't be hitting. gets away with it. But that overhead took them out of positioning.
2 serving
Gave
5.
Kochis a ball to swing at.
And Kochis had all sorts of space to hit that forehand.
Anything over the net probably would have won the point. Another big blitz from Molenveld. Maybe that is part of her game now. Match point. Great blitz from Guyaux, and there it is. Game, set, and match. Guyaux Molenveld, 7-5, 7-6. Any final observations, Lauren?
Welcome. Thanks.
Yeah, I think that match was a struggle for everybody. There was a lot of good skills. All 4 of those players have a lot of good skills, but in the end, Molenveld and Guyaux were just a little too solid for them.
Okay, let's take a look at the draw and see where this leaves them. So it looks like they'll be facing Deborah Castani and Allison Morgan with a relatively easy morning. How do you see that match unfolding, Lauren?
That's going to be a good... Castani and Morgan are a contrast in styles. Castani likes to hit the ball hard and come in, and Morgan is super steady and solid. So, look, I mean, we'll see which Guyaux Molenveld team come out. You know, they were all over the place that match.
Yeah, the one we saw today, I don't think is coming out on top. The one we saw last week,
right?
That's a terrific team. Who else do you like in the women's draw this week, Lauren? How do you think things are going to unfold?
Well, I think the finalists in Patterson, Lauren Gebbia and Carrie Delmonico, they're certainly a team to watch now that Lauren Gebbia is back on the circuit. And obviously the top 2 seeds are always tough to beat, Dardis and Shea, and Van Starenburg and Hanisch, and the Cruz sisters.
Is there anybody in the draw you didn't mention?
those are the...
You missed Barrett and Nika.
Oh, you know what? And that's a good one. Barron and Nika, that'll be very interesting. That's the 2 hardest hitters in the draw.
Those are some really aggressive picks, Lauren.
You didn't say who. You didn't say limit me to 2.
Who's going to win this weekend, Lauren?
I don't know. Ask me after the next match. I haven't seen enough. How about you? What do you think, Mark?
Well, for me, it's hard to pick against Dardis Shea. I mean, they won here last February. They're just rock solid. They just make you beat them. And in a game where 95% of the points end in errors, it's hard not to pick them. I mean, there are lots of matches I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to seeing Barron and Nika playing against Dardis Shea. That should be a lot of fun. I mean, Anika beat them with Liz Cruz in a terrific match, I guess at Paddle Player. So that was fun to see. And Laura Berendt is such an explosive player with so much physical talent. She and Annika van Starenburg played, I guess, junior tennis together. So happy to see her traveling to Chicago. She's got a lot of game. And I just think in general, Lauren, we've seen this metamorphosis of the women's game that's maybe been about 4 or 5 years behind the men's game, which is really fun to see. A lot of young players, a lot of explosive talents. It's really been fun to watch, and I think we're setting up for a tremendous season on the women's tour.
And I think we're ready for Jerry Viant to interview the winners.
And we're throwing it down to Jerry right now.
All right, guys. Down 1-3 in the first set. Clawed back 7-5. Down 3-5 in the second set. What enabled you to turn that match around?
I think towards the end of each set we played a little bit more to win. Didn't have a great sense of urgency at the beginning of either of those sets, so I think that was more what happened.
Have you seen these guys play before? I mean, they came out guns blazing.
I have never seen them play together. I've played against Karen before, but not towards Aaron, and I don't think we really knew what to expect from them either.
So tell me a little bit about the process that you guys are going through. First, also, congratulations on your big win last weekend in Patterson. I don't know if you guys know They won their first national ranking tournament together, and it's their first tournament together. So talk to me about the process, because you guys don't live near each other. How's it going on the court, learning what shots you have to hit together?
Well, when we're playing well, it's really easy. When we're not playing well, kind of look at each other and shake our heads. But I think, for the most part, it's been pretty easy.
I think when you don't live together, you just talk a lot, maybe a little bit more than normal, and hopefully the more matches we play, the easier it's going to be.
Well, you're definitely a strong combination. It's fun watching you play, and good luck in the quarterfinals. Do you know who you're playing next?
Is it Castany Morgan?
Did they win? Did Deborah and Allison win?
We'll find out at lunchtime. We'll be back with the women's quarterfinals at 1:30.